we'll see how to implement simple static routing in the network. We'll take two systems in the network. So what is meant by static routing? That is, static means stable, or the network admins have to manually assign the IP addresses to each and every node in the network. So here we have taken switch to which the number of nodes can be connected. Just to make a design in a very simple manner, we will connect only one system with the switch, and two routers will connect all the systems. It's not mandatory to select the same port, but for our simplicity or to give the IP address in a easier manner, we will select. Here we have to take the cross cable because these are similar devices. We have to turn on all these connections first. So that we can see the connectivity between all the nodes in the network. Now we'll start assigning the IP addresses statically, that is manually. Here we need to go to config. You can go to fast Ethernet, give the IP address as 192.168.1.10 will give, and we'll keep the subnet mark same. Close this. Now we'll give the IP address to this first connection of the router, that is with the gigabit 00. So here we will give the IP address as 192.168.1.1. As we are going to use this IP address as a default gateway, so we have given 1.1, most easiest IP address to remember. Now we have to give the default gateway's IP address. You can use config, or you can go to the desktop also. Through desktop, you can go for the IP configuration, and you can assign the default gateway's IP address as 192.168.1.1. So here, this part will act as a one subnetwork. This two connections will act as a second subnetwork, and this will act as a third subnetwork. Now we'll give the IP address to this router's second connection, that is for the 01. Here we'll give the IP address as 192.168.2.1. Okay. Then here we can go. Now this is the first connection where gigabit Ethernet 00 connectivity is there. So for that you can give IP address as 192.168. Now this is the next connection. Stepwise we can go to the connection. Here we had connected to gigabit Ethernet 01. So here we will give the IP address in this next subnetwork, that is 192.168.3.1, and the subnet mask. Now we have to give the IP address to the system which we have considered here as a destination system. So here you can give 192.168.3.10 because it is in the third network. You can give any host ID, and the default gateway, that is to which router the system is connected, that IP address, that is 192.168.3.1. So here you got the connections. For our reference, we can label the IP addresses to all these systems. That is what we have given the IP address as 192.168.1.10, and default gateway is 192.168.1.1. We'll give IP address here also, that is 192.168.1.1. So in the static routing, to give the static route, it will be easier if we give the labeling for the IP address. This is the upper connection, but here the IP address is different, 192.168.3.1. And here the PC IP address is 192.168.3.10, and default gateway is 192.168.3.1. Now we'll just try to ping from this system to this system. We'll assume this as a source and this as a destination. So by giving only the IP addresses, can we give the ping command, or whether we can get the connectivity, that will check. So ping to the destination address, IP address, that is 192.168.3.10. So here destination host is not reachable, or the request time. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to give the path through which the source is connected to the destination. So all these things we need to do it manually. So in this, we have to go to the router 0, go to the routing. In that, we have to go and select the static path or the static route. So here we have to give the network address. So we have clicked to this router. So we have to connect this router into our network. So we'll give the IP address as 192.168.3.0. 0 says that the number of nodes connected in this network. So it will take a range from 0. Here we'll keep the subnet mask the same because we have not made any type of changes in the subnet mask. And the next hop is the IP address of to which the next line is connected, or the next device is. So that is a next hop. So which is the next node, that IP address we need to assign here. 2.2. So here we will add this network. So we got the IP address as 0224, and and this is the next hop IP address. Through or via, it is getting connected to this network through this line. So close this. Similarly, we need to assign the network route through this router. So here we'll give the network address as 192.168.1.1. Sorry, 1.0. That is all the nodes in the network. Mask remains the same, and the hop will be 192.168.2.1 because we are giving the next hop IP address of this router. So we got the network connectivity to this router of this subnetwork through this hop. You can close this static route, and now we can ping from the system. Ping 192.168.3.10. It took some time to give you the reply. You can just try it once again. You can get the reply. That is, so from the source, destination node is connected. Connectivity is there. We can send the packet or we can transmit the data. Similarly, we can just go to the system, that is, which we have assumed as a destination. From there, if you want to send the data, ping 192.168.1.10. So here we get the reply. So the connectivity is established between these two systems.